Hey guys, it's Otti again. I'm sitting here in an online call with Chris from VLAD in Tears. Hi, first of all.
Hello.
Hi. I for myself know your band for a while. We have talked to each other. We have done interviews and stuff in the past. But maybe to people who watch and never heard of your band, who are you and what's your part in the band, first of all?
All right. Hello, everyone. And for who doesn't know me, I'm Kris, the singer of VLAD in Tears. We are a rock band, a dark rock alternative band. We are made of three brothers. I'm the youngest. I'm also the songwriter, and the oldest brother is the guitar player, and my second brother is the bass player. We've been playing together for over 10 years, and we have currently 8 records out. So we've been touring all over Europe. We've been sharing the stage with big bands like 69 Eyes, Hamatom, so many like Sandria. So we've been like around for a while, and it's been amazing. We love what we do, and you can find all the information of the band almost everywhere. You just have to Google the name of the band, Vlad in Tears, and you got everything like all the social media platforms, digital, and all you can get, you'll find there.
Yeah.
So here we are.
And I also will link your website below the video so people can check
Nice.
out there first and click from there. And as I mentioned before, we can talk about the whole history of the band because, as you mentioned, it's more than 10 years. But maybe you can tell at least three steps, three important moments in the band's history that brought you from the beginning to now.
Yeah, sure. Let's say I started the project alone, um, because I wanted to dig inside myself and trying to find what I would really wanted to do with music, and that's how I started the project. I started writing this gothic metal music. So back in the day, it was very gothic metal. My oldest brother, Alessio, the guitar player, really loved what I was doing, so he wanted to join me, and after him, Dario as well. So we started recording this new record, which was a Seed of an Ancient Pain. Man, it's so so long ago. Feels like a lifetime ago. And it was released only in Italy, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. After that, we got engaged with John Fryer, the music producer from him and Depeche Mode and Nine Inch Nails, who actually produced the second album called Underskin. And thanks to that, we approached the European music market. So we had the chance to travel a little and meet new people and discover new horizons. So after that, we a big step arrived. We got in contact through the internet, a German music manager called Holger, who really loved us, and he wanted us to move to Germany from Italy to Germany in order to to be more present and to leave the music business entirely. Also, because according to what he was saying, in Germany the music scene, mostly the black scene, was very big, and compared to Italy, of course. And so after a few days of thinking, me and my brother Dario decided to move to Germany. So we moved to Berlin, and now it's been like, yeah, kind of 10 years, and it was amazing. It was a great choice because Germany is amazing, and it was right. The music, the black scene in Germany is like, wow. German people are such believers. They respect the artist, and they believe the music as is supposed to be believed. So they really feel what they have to feel when they listen to music. They really love to support bands, even when they don't know them. It's such a big culture. Then I've been amazed, actually. I fell in love with Germany. I fell in love with German people because of the way I've been treated, the way people welcomed me here, and also thanks to Germany, thanks to the German culture and that German love, we've been managed to keep producing music and to be on tour, and also share the stage with big German bands. And so I'm gonna say that one was maybe the biggest step we ever did in our life, you know. After that, today I'm here, you know, in my flat in Germany, in Berlin, and still really happy. Actually, I've never been happier because we are about to go on tour. So this is the third big step after the COVID, the nonsense, the death all around. We managed to gather our strength back, and we worked on a new record with Metalville, this German label made of amazing guys. Really, I love those guys. Really, hello, hi guys. If you ever listen to me, I love you guys. And after the recording this new album, which is called Relapse, we'll be on tour with our brothers in arms, Held Maschine, an amazing band, a German band. We'll be sharing the whole tour. We'll be sharing the stage together. So I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. So I think that's the current situation.
I absolutely can imagine, and we'll talk about the album and the tour as the main part of this interview. But first of all, let's get back to the step from Italy to Germany. Is there something you miss of Italy? Is there something you would say, okay, this could be cooler in Germany?
I honestly, I just miss my parents, you know, because I really love them, you know, and every time I go there and visit them, it always feels like I never left, because they're my biggest fans, you know. There's such a cute couple, you know. They really love music. My mom is a metalhead, and my father is, you know, a photographer, so he's an artist, you know. And every time I go there, I feel like, okay, a part of me will always be there because of them, you know. The rest about Italy, honestly, I'm not a sunny weather person, so I love German weather. I know this sounds uncommon maybe because I'm Italian, but man, I really love Berlin weather, and it feels so good. I love the gray weather. I love rainy. I love when it's colder. It feels so good for my brain. You know, I get so inspired. So I'm honestly, I'm a good cook, so I don't miss the Italian food because I cook myself. You know, so I make my own meals, so I don't actually miss somebody could say, you know, you miss the Italian cuisine. I don't, because I'm adult enough and I can take care of it. So let's say I feel really welcome here. I feel really
I see. And I think the Italian wine, for example, or something like this, we can get here as well. So this should be no problem.
Man. Yeah.
And
I mean, Berlin, you know.
And as I know, you are capable of German a little bit, but not that safe to make an interview in it. But maybe you can tell some of your favorite German words or phrases that you really love and like to say.
Well, I remember when that's fine, because the first time I heard one of the words really made me laugh really hard. The first time was Zitrone. No, because I mean, we say limone, you know.
Yeah.
In Italian, it's limone. It sounds soft. When a girl told me, like, you know, zitrone, I was like, what the hell is that? Zitrone, you know. Sounds so funny, you know. But of course, man, I'm learning German, but it's so hard. And I started like with a few sentences, like, "Hallo, ich bin Kris von VLAD in Tears," you know. And it sounds very nice when I say that. But there are like words, like the first time I heard Entschuldigung, I didn't understand actually. I thought it was like kind of in chewing gum, like and chewing gum, you know. So something like I got a chewing gum, you know. So the first time I said it, I was a little doing shopping, and actually said that. I said like chewing gum, and people moved. I was like, oh, so it works. Even I didn't say correctly, but people actually moved. So I was like, okay, so that's the right pronunciation. It's chewing gum. Because, you know, here in Berlin, people don't really say Entschuldigung, you know, they say chewing gum. So you don't really understand, but it's funny because people actually don't make fun of me because I don't speak German. You know, I try, man. I do try. Trust me. It's amazing to feel like you can speak the language of the country because you feel so connected. But man, it's one of the hardest language I ever heard. It's really one of the hardest languages I ever heard. So, but I like it. So I'm on the way.
Yeah,
maybe one day we'll do an interview in German. You know.
And in German, you have too many words, for example, for the same thing sometimes. So it's really hard to learn, I think.
Yeah, man, and yeah, it's absolutely forever thing. It's a never-ending thing, you know.
But the same, I, for example, learned some Italian in school, but I'm totally not capable of speaking it because I never use it.
Yeah.
I still can read some words and understand some phrases, but I wouldn't be able to talk in Italian. It wouldn't just work out.
Yeah. And the best words I've been learning are because of when I worked at the bar. You know, I've been working since a few months ago at the bar. So I was working in the bar, so people were like ordering in German. So most of the time, I mean, there were like a lot of people just speaking English, but you know, there was like, you know, einmal Bier bitte, you know, zweimal Weizen bitte. You know, it's like, all right, man, I'm getting that. And so I'm kind of remembering or to feel this word. I really like that, to feel. You know, it's too much, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
too much. Too viel.
There are words that really, the words that really get in my head, you know. That's also why I wanted to write one of the songs in German, you know. I mean, but I didn't do it alone. I want to be honest, you know.
Yeah, we will talk about that song as well.
Okay.
Are you capable of other languages, like Spanish or something? Or
I know a little bit of Spanish, but I really like a few and a little bit of French, but I never been speaking it, you know, so it doesn't really matter. But Italian, English, and a little bit of German is really like a good thing. It's gut.
Yes. Cool. And now we'll talk about the album, Relapse.
Mhm.
It will come out in 2
March.
weeks, I think.
Yeah.
When I publish this interview, it will be 1 week ago, or 1 week till it comes, I think. Relapse, it is your 9th album.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, your beginning was like Gothic metal, was really, really dark. Now you do dark rock with alternative touch. And I think it's several years ago we talked about the change. So we shouldn't talk too much about this, but maybe to people who only know your oldest records, what was the reason when you changed the style that way?
Well, you know, it's because of first of all, it's all my fault. It's all my fault because I really love to change a little bit from a record to another. I always find myself to be not to be like, I never like to be in a cage, you know, in a box. So I never loved labels, you know. So when at the first time I've been hearing, yeah, you know, you are that kind of band, I was like, man, I don't know, because I love any kind of music. I really do love any kind of music, and trying to if I would let myself go, I would write every song, not every record, every song in a different style, because I really love music, and I believe when music is good, people will like it, you know. So, but you know, people also need labels to feel more familiar and comfortable with it. So it's okay, I understand that people need to call a band a genre, like, okay, this is gothic metal, this is death metal, okay, whatever, I understand. I still think that it would be amazing if it would be like good music, just good music. Now that's not good music, you know. But the reason why I changed sometimes a lot is because I love to experiment. You know, I love to in experimenting different styles and trying to combine them together and trying to make a record out of it. Sometimes I did a good thing, sometimes I didn't. I'm not always satisfied with what I did so far, and that's why again our previous record Porpora sounded very different and will sound very different from Relapse. There's a huge difference between these two records, and there's a big reason why, you know, because Porpora was a concept album, you know. I did write it during COVID, and it's super dark, and it's got a lot of Berliner element, you know. It's got a lot of synthesizers, got a lot of industrial music. This record Relapse doesn't. It's pure rock.
Yeah.
It will always be sounding dark because I mean, I love dark. I mean, I love the dark atmosphere. I grew up with that, and I live like that. So it's part of me. So whatever I write in music, it will be minor chords. It will be dark atmospheres. The thing is that this time I didn't want to use synthesizers. I didn't want to being too playful with instruments. I wanted to be very direct. So my brother Les and Dario and the drummer were playing very harder than the past. Also vocal style, I wanted to go back to the more metal, high and clean voice, which is something that makes a little bit of difference compared to other bands in the black scene, you know, like our colleagues, because they all use a vocal range that's lower, and they sound kind of alike. And I want to make the difference in this manner. You know, I wanted to sound more rock, as a rock singer, not like a gothic, singer, which is good. I always love it. I really love it. I can do it, and I do it. But I want to go beyond that.
I absolutely understand. So you are not the copy of Sisters of Mercy and things like that. You
Exactly.
always try new things. And something you mentioned now, you said you grew up with darkness. So maybe you can explain this. What is your growing up? How was it like in darkness?
Well, from the music side or from in general, as a
In
person?
general.
In general, it's been hell because I've always been a weirdo, man. I've always been in Italy. Mostly, I suffered from my choices, because being a goth, it's a life choice, and it's a lifestyle that stays with you forever, unless you're just following a trend. So like all these people, they say, "Hey, where's a face? I got a dark face." I don't have a dark face. I was born this way, When I was a kid, like really little, like 6 years old, I was in love with horror movies already. Like I love them. They made me happy. My parents, of course, they were worried because I was the only one smiling and being amazed by horror movies, zombies, vampires, werewolves, but mostly skeletons. I fell in love with it, so I was collecting small puppets, like small skeletons that were shining in the dark. They made me fall asleep nicely at night. So the early years were difficult because my parents they never told me anything. But I saw them growing up. They started getting worried about me because I didn't have friends. It wasn't easy. And again, I say in Italy it was even harder because in Italy, there's a lot of ignorance and there's a lot of prejudice. When you go around the city with a little eyeliner or with New Rock, the boots, everyone laughs. They laugh at you for real. I've even been bothered, like bullied, and the people were asking me, "Hey, is somebody died, or are you going to a funeral?" The typical cliche words. I heard them all. I heard them all. So it wasn't easy. It was hard, but I kept going. I didn't care. I didn't want friends anyway. I mean, who doesn't want friends? I wanted to find friends, but I'm that kind of person who's alone is functional. So I just been taking care of myself, like digging into my style, reading a lot of books like Edgar Allan Poe, Stephen King, Bram Stoker, all this kind of stuff. I love them all. And I was watching movies, writing poems. I know it's a cliche, but I am a living cliche. I'm a stereotype. I'm going to the cemetery, or listening to The Cure, Sonic Youth, that's what I did. I grew up with that. Then I started going more into the rock, dark, like Him and Placebo, then 69 Eyes, Sister of Mercy. I grew up listening to all of them. And I never changed style. Even though I've been alone for a long time, even the friends I've been sharing school together, I've been at school with, they were judging me. They were, I'd been victim of prejudice, like sometimes heavy. They didn't invite me to any party, because I was the weird one. Somebody was even spreading fake stories about me, that I was the son of the devil, that I was even doing rituals, that I was sacrificing and taking girls, I mean, girls were interested for sure. Girls were interested into me, but still kind of weird because they were not my style. So it was like very, suspicious, because like, why are you interested into me? Because you're so different, you go to a discotheque, you drink the glass of prosecco, whatever, in the afternoon. I'm like walking through the woods, so we will never find anything common. And in fact, we never found anything common. But growing up, things got a little easier because I got stronger. So I developed self-conscious and self-confidence alone. I just needed to believe in what I was doing. Music helped me a lot because I was writing what I was feeling. I was writing poems and I was putting down in music. Then traveling around outside Italy saved me again, because I was like, oh my God, thank God they're not all ass. So like, okay. And when I approached to Germany, there was 10, it was actually 11 years ago. There was such a relief because people here, man, they just don't care. Everyone is fine. You know, most even in Berlin is like European metropole. You know, it's like you can be whoever you want. You can do it as long as you respect the law. You're not an ass. You're not a punk. You know what I mean? You're a nice person. You have manners. You can dress up as you want. People don't even look at you. And then I felt amazing. I felt like, wow, I can just be myself. I'm not looking for attention, you know, because I'm not. I just want to be myself. You know, I have my clothes, I have my style, but I mind my business. I have manners, so I say I'm sorry, even if I didn't do anything. Just want to pass by. I don't want to. I never look for trouble. I want to just be by myself and do what I love the most. You know, so it hasn't been easy, but things got better. We growing up. Yeah.
Just for the girl thing, I think the interest was in the bad guy. So as you mentioned, we are walking cliché, and many people live like clichés, and girls always like the bad guy, the dark guy, it's like some danger maybe.
Yeah, because they believe they can save us. You know?
Yeah, and like this, I can save you from the devil.
Exactly.
Devil.
What? Why? What are you talking about? Exactly. What? Wie bitte?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, man.
But now we can connect this to the new album, because I think your first albums and your first songs all have been dealing with these experiences you made, being like mobbed, to say it like this, being outside and some stuff. And how did this change, and what are the topics now on the new album?
Now, what I write about is real life and stories from people all around the world. I got so, let's say, maturing and growing up, getting so much more connected to the world and to people every day on a daily basis, you know, got me so, it made me feel more free to write. So I don't use metaphors like I used to, you know. I don't hide words meaning, you know. I don't feel like I have to do it anymore. I mean, I love poems, but nowadays people don't want to hear poems. They want to hear a true story. And maybe like I did in Relapse, I told people stories, you know. All these fans reached out to me like when after Porpora, you know, this record, that was a punch in the face, you know, because there was the time I was depressed, you know, because COVID, the music was over, and I felt down with depression, anxiety, self-destructive behaviors. You know, I really wanted to die. You know, honestly. I mean, I didn't care if I wasn't waking up the day after. Honestly, I tried a lot of things, but mostly destructive. And the reason was because in that very time I lost almost everything I had. You know, I had a job and I lost the job after 4 years of working my ass off at night. I cannot tell you what kind of job it is because of privacy problems, you know, but it was a terrible job and it killed my brain, you know, and made me so paranoid, you know, because I was helping people also through hotlines as well, suicidal people, you know, and I saw a lot of people dying, you know, even somebody shooting himself, you know, and I saw that. When you see this stuff, man, your life changes, you know, and so I thought that it didn't affect me back then, but then it happened. Then I started feeling really dark inside, not in a good way. I started feeling lonely in a bad way because I love being on myself, you know, by myself. I love being alone in my flat, you know, like a cat. I love that. But then I started feeling empty. So then on the top of that feeling, I lost the job after all the sacrifices just because they closed the project, you know, not because I wasn't good. I was amazing. I get that job. I love that because I was helping people, you know. But they closed the project, so I got like after 4 years, I lost the job. Then I lost a girl I was with after years. So it was a strong relationship and a very painful relationship, you know. So I lost that too at the same time, and then I got problems also in the flat. So staying in the flat with the rent and stuff. So it was the toughest time ever. In the few weeks after, COVID arrived. So it all befallen me, you know. It was like, man, this huge scheiße on my shoulders, you know, and I didn't know how to deal with it. So the music was over. People were dying, and I lost even a friend of mine died. A couple of friends of mine, the girl died. So I was like just hearing every day bad news, and I thought that we were all gonna die eventually, you know. So I started destroy myself. Like, honestly, I was drinking a lot, doing shit, and I was like, I don't care if I don't wake up tomorrow, this is over anyway. Nobody cares anymore, and there's nothing left to fight for. And I don't know how it happened, man, but I didn't die, After weeks and months of self-destructive behaviors, I didn't die. And one day I woke up completely tired of the way I was feeling, and I needed to find myself again. I don't know what happened to me. I just reached the rock bottom and was like, dude, this is enough. You didn't die. Now you got to do something about it. So I just man up, and I started writing. I found the strength to start writing, and I wrote Porpora, all my heaviest thoughts. And I didn't want to feel ashamed of what happened to me. I didn't want to, because like a lot of other people felt the same way. I'm pretty sure that so many other people felt the same way. So I was lucky enough that I didn't die. So I felt like I had a duty. I needed to be there for other people. I need to write music. That's when I started doing, let's say, real topics. That's when I started writing real stuff, for real people. They were there. They were feeling what I was feeling. And after that, so many people, so many more people compared to the past, reached out to me. They started feeling like I understood them. They felt alive thanks to me, and I started getting so many letters from fans thanking me that my music saved their life. So it started getting real, man. It started getting real, and from that point, I was talking to as many people as possible every day, chatting with them, listening to them. Sometimes it was overwhelming because people were like opening up, and sometimes, man, people are suffering, and then they find the strength to tell you how they feel. And sometimes you don't know what to say, because nobody helped me back then. I was alone. So I was like, okay, now people are opening up to me, and they're telling me so much stuff. What am I going to tell them? So day by day, slowly, I started replying to them and collecting their stories, their thoughts. And some people were even asking me to write about this. And that's how I did it. That's what I did in Relapse. I did with Relapse. Relapse is the story of so many people but together. People who are still fighting, people who their stories and never been told yet. And it's amazing, because it connects everyone.
That's great. And do you have maybe one example or something of a story that you wrote about?
Well, yeah. For example, Not Good Enough is a story of this person told me that never felt good enough for this person who was in a toxic relationship, and she was pulling all out. She was really like taking it all out. And I was reassuring her, like telling her, look, it happens, but there's nothing really I can tell you to make you feel better. I just understand how you feel because I've been there. When these people you are with are treating you like shit, they're treating you like you're not good enough for them. No matter how hard you try, no matter how faithful you are, honest and good, if somebody wants to make you feel like scheiße, he will, and that's why I wrote that story. And I even told this person, like, okay, I'll never mention your name, but this is the story of you, what happened. And I say, let's scream together that you never be good enough, man, but that's okay, moving on. Yeah, that's an example.
Oh, great.
Oh, there's another story, and that's Day by Day. It's a person who's like suicidal. This person really wants to die, and I don't know if she still wants to, but kind of fighting these thoughts. And I wrote about it. So it's not let's say that's not a positive song. Songs don't have to be positive all the time. I mean, the message is real. That's what matters. And this story tells that's the story of this person who's struggling with his thoughts of dying and killing. And it's tough. That's why I say in the chorus, I say day by day, because I say day by day, you will fly away from the light. That means day by day, you will die. You know what I mean? This person with the head is dying because he's dreaming of dying. So it will disappear. The death starts from the inside. It's a tough stuff, for example, but there's so much more. into
I see,
that.
I see. And I think in all those stories you find parts of you as well. As you mentioned, you wanted to die during COVID and stuff.
All of
It's
them,
connected to
yeah.
your soul.
Absolutely. All of them are part of me because, I mean, I'm a human, and what I've been experiencing is very common, even though not so many people talk about it that freely. You know, they feel ashamed, they feel insecure. Of course, man, telling to somebody you don't know, you know, I wanted to die back then, you know, or maybe I wish I died tomorrow, you know, doesn't feel good. I mean, people don't want to hear that because they feel uncomfortable. They feel like, oh my God, man, this is a bomb that you're dropping on me. I don't want to hear that. I just want to have a chit chat. I just want, hey, how you doing? You got to say, I'm fine. You don't want to say the truth. People don't want the truth sometimes, you know, but this is a different thing. With music, we can speak the truth, you know.
And I think this is something that makes the dark scene, the gothic scene special. As
Yes.
There are people in the scene that say, okay, I don't want to hear this, but normally it's this connection. You can say what you feel, you can say what you think, and the other wants to understand, and often he or she understands because has the
Yes.
same experiences. Or
Exactly.
similar.
Exactly. Yeah.
I agree. And now we'll come to the German song because you mentioned it. It's your first German song, as I remember.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yes.
it's have the simple word "Hallo" as a title.
Hello.
So how did this come up, and what's the story behind this?
That's a funny story, but it's also like very interesting. It happened. It's a story of me, you know. It started like some years ago, but it developed in a very interesting way when I moved into this building. Some of the neighbors started getting afraid of me. Some of them, they saw me, they really got scared, and some of them spread a fake word about me that children should stay away from my door because I'm a satanic person, you know, and I could harm them. There's also a girl upstairs really hates me. She hates me, man. I didn't do anything, but maybe because she hears me, I don't know, singing, I don't know, whatever. I mean, I also have fans, actually, the third floor. There are a couple of girls. They're really big fans of me, but whatever. So this girl really, it happens, you know, here. Then you hold, for example, you hold a package for a neighbor, you know. That's what we do. I mean, I do for everyone because I'm a nice guy, you know. Even though I look scary, you know. So I'm a nice guy, and for a couple of times it happened that I was holding a package for one of the neighbors, and the neighbor came over and knocked at my door, and I opened it. It was smiling. They saw my teeth, the vampire teeth, and they were like jumped back for real, man. They were like, whoa, for real. It was like, oh, hello, man. Alles gut? Alles gut bei dir? Huh? Alles okay? It's like, didn't know what to say, man. Really, I was like, here's your package, a paquet, you know, and took the package and they ran away. For real, man. It happened more than once. Even one night, I ordered food, you know, like Liferando, and one of this guy, this delivery guy, I mean, the lights in the building were off. I don't know, that night didn't work, but whatever. I mean, when I opened the door, I mean, the light from the inside, you can see a little bit. So this guy was coming up from the stairs, and I opened the door before he was arriving, and I was like, hello. I did that. He saw my face, man, and he almost fell back from the stairs. It was like, man, what the fuck? Unbelievable. So then I got inspired and I started writing this song, man, which is half in German, half in English, because it belongs to everyone. It's my story, of course. You know, hallo, ich bin der neue Nachbar, you know. Der alle Dimo nennen, you know, that everyone calls Demon, yeah. Because I mean, I'm pretty sure that I laugh about it because it can be funny, of course. It's like a dark comedy, but I'm pretty sure that some people, if that happened, what happens to some other kind of people, they might feel hurt, you know, because misjudgment and prejudice can still be painful. You know what I mean? I got over that because I'm used to that. So my shoulders are spread enough, you know, are big enough so I can take care of that and I can let it go, I can let it slide. But for other people, maybe more fragile, you know, like what I was 10 years ago, I don't know, or 15 years ago, or 20 years ago, I don't know, can be painful, you know. You just want to be nice, just because of your looks, you get misjudged. So it's also, I mean, it's a nice song, it can be funny, but it's also serious, you know what I mean? So It tells the story of a guy, of a girl, whoever has been misjudged and a victim of prejudice. So it's unfortunate, it's a shame, because when you have prejudice, you don't let the world be known by you the way it's supposed to. You're like blocking yourself from knowing somebody. Maybe you could discover a person who was amazing, just because of the looks, then you get stopped. And that's the story. It's pretty interesting, and it's different.
And
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean. And it's people like us being goth, being metal, and being like that. We all know these prejudices, but people who are normal often even don't know what they do to people. At least young people who aren't that strong, aren't that mature about it. So
Yes,
I think those are the people who can reach with a song and can say, okay, take it not too serious.
exactly.
Make some fun of it.
Yeah, it's got a double side, Yeah.
And it proves that goths are also capable of humor and can laugh.
Yes. Of course, man, a sense of humor is like the key for us, You need to be aware how the world works. We are, like, most of the time is judged. I mean, I know. I mean, if I'm a musician, I go around the world, whatever. I'm still a weirdo. I'm still a weird guy. Well, you always have this people looking at you like,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's the same with me when I run
Yeah,
around. And I'm always the kindest guy. I'm the guy who holds open the door for other people and stuff. And they
exactly.
look at me, oh, thank you.
Yeah, see,
Thank you.
we are nice, man. And then, yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Great, great, great. By the way, do you like comedy, for example? Are you a fan of
Yeah, man.
comedy?
Yeah, I love it.
So,
I love
and
it, man.
is German comedy for you understandable? Is this something you can watch, or is the humor too
Oh, man,
difficult?
that's complicated. That's too complicated. I mean, I like it, but in German, it's tough. It's also because jokes, get a different way. The way they say things. It's even different from literal language. So you really have to know what that means. And that's very tough.
Yeah. But I think everyone, for example, loves Monty Python. So
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, of course, man. That's pretty cool, right?
yeah.
The mate. Hi, how you doing, mate? Yeah, so funny.
Great. But let's get serious again,
Hmm.
but now to something completely different, to say it like this. No, but the album, we have a limited fan box, is coming. And you have acoustic versions of almost all songs, not all songs, but almost all songs. So maybe what was the idea behind this, and how did you record this stuff? Because I think, for example, I heard a violin.
Hmm.
Did I?
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Funny thing about this whole album is I started writing the all the songs in acoustic
Yeah.
version first, and it was a challenge. It was a big challenge because we never did it before. So I started writing the music with the piano and my brother with the guitar, the acoustic guitar, and they were supposed to be heavy. I knew. I mean, I had a big picture in my head, but the others didn't. So it was really hard for me to explain that it didn't matter that the acoustic album wasn't heavy, because everyone was afraid, like, oh my god, but these are too soft. It's like, no, man, this is the acoustic versions, but the rock version will be heavier, much heavier. But it was complicated because I could hear in my head, but I was the only one doing that. So we started writing and we started recording. We went to the Centrifuge, the recording studio here in Berlin, from Tito, amazing guy. Hi, Tito. And we love that place, man. It's got a big space with two grand pianos, and it's got so many vintage vibes. So it sounds amazing, and he's great. So we went there. One day I recorded the piano, and then I started singing. Then Dario did the guitars. I listened to the other guitars. Then I wanted to make something special, and I was talking to via Instagram to this guy from Ukraine, a celloist, and I just asked him. Man, he was unbelievable. I just asked him, like, hey, would you like to join me for a quick recording? I'm making this acoustic thing, and I love cello. I always loved it, and I always wanted to have a real cello in my record. He said, yes, just send me one song. I just want to hear it. He loved it. He's like, hey, man, let's do it tomorrow. So he came over to my place. So we met for the first time, and 30 minutes later we were already recording the cello. So it's been here for 6 hours, and it did as many tracks as possible. And on one of my favorite songs, which is Goodbye, it almost made me cry because I was listening to it with the headphones, and he was also wearing headphones. We were looking at each other. It was like so emotional, and he didn't rehearse at all. He was just playing freely. Man, one day we got it was like, I don't want to touch that, man. This is just perfect. It's so real. It got me almost tears in my eyes. Yeah, So that day, we did the cello, and after that, we started doing the rock version.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it was. Maybe Martin Gore, but someone of the big ones. One day said a good song always is made of acoustic, or you can make it on acoustic, and if it works, then it is a good song. If it doesn't work in acoustic, it's no good song. I think Martin Gore was it.
Yeah, this is like an ancient saying. You're right, man. And that was actually my point. Compared to Porpora, for example, that I started writing using synthesizers, and I wasn't really caring about the vocal lines. It was like really like experimenting, like industrial stuff. This time I went clean, like piano and voice, and that's the very real first version of the acoustic. I did all of the songs with the piano and voice, and I wanted to hear them, like if it works, like okay, if this works, everything will work, as you said. And then after that, we started recording the other acoustic instruments. So you're right.
Cool. And now we'll somehow come to an end, but we have to talk about the tour.
Yes.
For example, it's upcoming. It starts, I think, 2 days after the album release, or 2 days before. I'm not just sure, but around.
Yeah.
And you're on tour with Heldmaschine. So maybe just tell me what's the connection to Heldmaschine, for example.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's an amazing story, actually, because I remember, we've always been like liking each other via social media, this kind of connection, it just happens. And Dirk, the drummer, is an amazing guy, he really likes us. He's a big fan. And one day he invited us for one show. And I was like, wow, man, this is amazing. Of course I want to do it. And we were supposed to go all together. But the day before the show, our drummer fell sick, so he couldn't fly from Italy. Man, he just texted a message like saying, guys, I'm not going to make it the day before the show. Man, I wanted to really shoot myself. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? What we're going to do? We didn't have a drummer. We couldn't find any replacement. And I didn't want to lose the show because first of all, matter of respect, and second, because it was a big chance, to be on stage with a good band, big band. And I was like, I talked to Dario, I was like, my brother, we looked at each other and say, you know what? We go acoustic. Let's go acoustic, man. Just one guitar and voice. And man, we actually did it. So we didn't tell anyone. We drove 6 hours and a half back there, and we were when we met the guys, we were talking. I was like, guys, this is what happened. We didn't have the drummer. We couldn't be here with the whole band. We cannot throw a rock show, but we will perform all the whole show acoustic, if that's fine for you. And Rene, the singer, great guy, by the way, he said, guys, I love you. You did a great thing. You didn't miss this. Matter of respect. You drove by yourself 6 hours and a half just to be here. And do you know what I would do? Rene said, I will go on stage before you, and I will announce you, and I will explain to everyone what happened, how cool you are, and how much respect you deserve. And that's actually what he did. He did in front of 600 people. He said the whole story. So when we went on stage, we were walking on stage. Everyone was already clapping and applauding, and they were like screaming. Like that was one of the best times ever, because that's how we felt friends. We became friends because they loved us for respect. We loved them because the way they treated us, and their fans became also our fans. So, and our fans became their fans. So we started sharing fans. And then Dirk did an amazing thing. there was another show the day after, and he asked us if we want to continue that the same way with acoustic. We said yes. So we went again with them, and Dirk saw my the set list from the acoustic, and he was like, okay, but this one is a cover. I know Wicked Game, and you know what? I'm going to talk to the others, and I'm going to arrange something special for you tonight. So what did he do? The very night we were playing acoustic, just me and my brother. At the last song, Wicked Game, everyone from El Machine went on stage and they performed the metal version of Wicked Game with us in front playing the acoustic guitar, man. And how can you explain that, man? This is pure magic.
Yeah.
When something like that happens, you just fall in love, fall in love with the people, fall in love with the musicians, you fall in love with what you do. And everyone saw that. And after that, we are friends like crazy, man. We talk a lot, we share our stuff, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. And then how it happened, then they wanted us to be on tour with them 1 year ago. So we just went. Absolutely, we had a rock tour, man. It was one of the best tours ever. And now again it happened because we were actually starting arranging our own tour, with our booker, booking agent, and the label. But we were in the middle of the conversation, and then Dirk wrote us like, hey guys, we are going on tour, but we would love to have you. What do you say? It's going to be the biggest cities in Germany. I was like, you know what, let's put it on pause, the tour, let's go with them.
Yeah.
And we told them right away. The label was really happy because they know the situation, and it's like, okay guys, this is gonna be huge, it's gonna be amazing. And everyone is happy. I saw the comments when the Hell Machine announced us to be with them. Everyone's happy, everyone's looking forward to it. And I feel so excited, because I love them. They're so amazing, man. They play perfect, they're like hammer,
Yeah.
all, they're huge, man. And they're really good inspiration, when we go on stage, and they love us, so I think it's gonna be unforgettable.
I think there will be many cool parties of you both, yes.
Yeah.
But when you tell such a story about respect, did you experience some disrespect from other artists, maybe other musicians in the past?
Yeah, of course, man. It happened in the past. When we were here, the early years in Germany, we had some difficulties. There were some bands at first. They acted like they were a little jealous, because we were the newcomers. So I never thought and never considered another musician a competitor. I never considered another musician an enemy, because we're doing music, man. We're not saving the world. I mean, I'm not stealing anything. I'm just doing what I think I want to do. So, but sometimes can happen that you meet other musicians that are a little jealous, and so we got a little bullied in the early years. It wasn't easy. We were talking about small situations, but they were not easy to digest, because I mean, we were alone here. I mean, we were broke, and it was really hard. We were like living in a small flat, and things were really very extreme back then. We were like more like a deathcore punk band than gothic rock. So we experienced a little bit of that, a little bit of let's say discomfort. But at the end, the most cases, what I saw here, like unpayable, man, and people are really supporting. And most of the bands we played with and we shared the stage with are very supportive. They really want us to be there, and we want them to be as their best. Of course, I mean, we wish all the best. It can happen, man. It happens everywhere. It happens with everyone. I'm not blaming anything, and anyone can happen for lots of reasons. Now the situation is so different, because maybe we're also like, me and my brothers were like maybe tough back then, because we were like, like wild dogs, because we didn't know what was going to happen. So we were like more aggressive, probably. I don't know. But now we're like, everything is organic, everything works. It feels like now we are all together doing something amazing, and that's what matters.
Sounds like you have already have finally arrived in Germany and totally into the scene and stuff.
Yes, yeah, now it feels like that, yeah.
Right. And to come to an end now, maybe you can tell what are the plans after the tour? Is there something you can tell about? festivals or any other plans you have?
Yeah, absolutely. After the tour with Al Machina, we are going to be at the festival Dark Malta, which is going to be super cool. Yeah, man. And then we go in Croatia for another cool festival. The festival is in memory of one of the organizers who died. So it's going to be like, it's a good cause. So it's going to be like very cool. And in the meantime, we are arranging our own tour. Probably, if everything works out, we will be happening in fall. So that's important. After that, I don't know. Let's see. Let's get there first. Oh wait,
So
I'm losing the light. All right.
okay,
We're good.
and
We're good.
to come to the final end, maybe the classical thing almost everyone asks at the end of an interview. What do you want to tell the people outside now?
Well, I want to say, guys, just do yourself a favor and go listen to VLAD in Tears music, because we are telling your stories and it's absolutely worth it. If you love rock music, metal, modern metal, we are a good match for your taste. So go for it.
Perfect. So thank you for the nice talk. It was really fun, exciting, and deep as well.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Absolutely. Great as always, man. It's always nice to talk to you.
People outside, thanks for watching the whole time, and check out VLAD in Tears if you didn't already. If you're fans, it's even better. So thank you for watching and say bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye, everyone. Stay VLAD.